Today we're going over an introduction of the kettlebell swing. So the kettlebell swing is a hinge movement, which means it's coming from our hips. A lot of times you'll see people squat when performing this exercise, but we notice that we want to use our glutes and our hamstrings, the biggest muscles in our bodies, produce power for this exercise. So getting ourselves set up. I have a 24-pound kettlebell. Weight doesn't matter. You want to start something lighter, and then we can kind of add some weight as needed. But the kettlebell will start about a yard in front of me. From there, my feet are hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider to allow the kettlebell to hike pass through. My setup, I'm going to hinge at the hips, squat down until I can touch the kettlebell. My eyes stay neutral onto the kettlebell. When I grab the kettlebell, I want to try and create tension by engaging my lats by almost breaking that kettlebell. The initial swing is a hike, like a center in football. I'm hiking it back. My inside of my wrist should hit my groin, and then from there, it's a drive with the hips. Kettlebell floats up. I don't let it float above my chin, and I pull it back down. So to start, right, I start tall, hinge, squat, hands, create tension. It's a hike pass through, and then hip drive, hip drive, hip drive for continuous swing of the kettlebell. Now, some common faults that you'll see is some people will use their elbows, right, and they'll get too far down on the swing, and they start using their back. So that's not what the exercise should look like. Again, the inside of the wrist wants to hit the groin. Number two is we let the kettlebell float. So as I let this kettlebell float, you can see I'm using some back engagement. At the top of the kettlebell, I want to squeeze my glutes and keep my ribs tucked underneath, so I'm in a nice hollow position. So if I float, it looks something like this. Not great form, not great technique. And the third thing is we don't want the kettlebell to float. I want to pull it back through. So again, this is a little bit more advanced, but as we sit up, hips, squat, hands, create tension, right? As I swing this kettlebell, I want to pull it down active, pull it down active. That's going to increase the speed of the movement, allow my hamstrings to turn on and off very, very quickly, very dynamically to get the most efficiency out of this exercise. So if you have any questions, send them my way.